Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome into another edition of That's What I Think with Brandon Swanson. I'm your fearless host, Brandon Swanson, and today have some fun, interesting topics for you. The first one being NFL trade deadline. Yes, believe it or not, we're talking NFL trade deadline 2017, probably the most exciting trade deadline since Roy Williams left the Lions to go to the Cowboys. Of course, he's no longer there, but that was the trade that season. This season, we've got multiple trades coming at you, some blockbusters, some shockers, and we're going to roll right into it. So, a trade that happened a couple of days ago, offensive lineman Dwane Brown left the Houston Texans. Well, honestly, didn't feel like he was there for that long this season because he wasn't. First game back was just this past week. He was traded, shipped to the Seattle Seahawks, who is going to be a big help for them. They had just lost a man to ACL tear. That's going to be a huge help for Russell Wilson. One of the reasons why Dwane Brown was shipped out there, him and the ownership not gelling. He certainly did not like Bob McNair's comments this past week about the inmates running the prison. He was no fan of that, as many other players on the team, no fan of those comments, but Brown also had other issues with the management and the ownership as well. So he is out there, and supposedly the man who was supposed to come back was Jeremy Lane. However, Lane failed his physical. That did not happen. Houston receives a couple of draft picks in the deal. The biggest trade of a couple of days ago, Jimmy Garoppolo leaving the New England Patriots and heading to San Francisco. He went from where the sky was nice, he sat on the bench and won some rings, to, all right, Jimmy, don't talk about rings around here. We don't like that kind of talk. We don't want to get anyone's hopes up. But now their hopes are up because he's there. So there's a couple of things from this one. People believe within the New England organization, Tom Brady can be the guy for a while. And why not? He's been the guy for a long time, and he continues to produce week in, week out. You've got Garoppolo, a talented guy behind him. You send him out to a team that needs him. Patriots get a second-round pick back from San Francisco, pretty high price to get Jimmy Garoppolo. But this is good. This is now their quarterback for the future. They would hope. They get Garoppolo. Now they need to be able to build around him. That's going to be the next move, and that, I think, completely changes things for San Francisco for the upcoming draft in 2018. That's going to be very interesting. Another blockbuster. The Dolphins trade star running back Jay Ajayi off to the Eagles for a fourth-round pick. Did not see that one coming. Jay Ajayi, one of the big offensive cogs for Miami. However, one of the offensive cogs that was just not working right now in Miami. Jay Ajayi getting a lot of volume in terms of carries, just not getting the yards to turn out. But he's now going to be going to the 5th-ranked rushing offense of Philadelphia. And a lot of people would say, well, they've got LeGarrette Blount there right now. My opinion, LeGarrette Blount is going to be turning into a short yardage, goal line back. Jay Ajayi is going to be handling everything else. Jay Ajayi's stock in fantasy rises right up to the top there. He is going to be getting back to, I think, some fantasy prominence, which is where we saw him last season, in which people tried to buy a little higher on him this year. The absolute shocker of the day yesterday, Kelvin Benjamin traded from the Carolina Panthers to the Buffalo Bills for a 3rd rounder, a 7th rounder. Was shocked, completely shocked, did not see this one coming. It's a great move for the Buffalo Bills. They give their quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, still a young guy, an opportunity to have a 6'5" quarterback, wide receiver tandem, and a 6'5" wide receiver out there in Kelvin Benjamin, a guy who's dropped some weight, guy who's supposed to be, looking better. He has looked better. That knee, though, it's still a bit of a problem. It's swelled up a couple of times this year. He had to leave a game earlier in the season because of it. But other than that, he's been producing. He's been doing all right. But he certainly turns into a number 1 wide receiver now, if he wasn't before in Carolina. But this is very peculiar, though. It makes you think, what was going on in Carolina that made the Carolina Brass want to get rid of their number 1 wide receiver, especially now that Greg Olsen is out? There's a lot of questions there, at least in my opinion. There's a lot of questions to be answered. Did they not like where he was going? Did they not like the direction that he was heading in with possibly his health, his weight, his, all of that? Kelvin Benjamin has never been a guy known for having off the field problems, but it still makes you wonder, why did they give up Kelvin Benjamin, a guy who, still a young guy, only a couple of years removed, 2014 graduate, Florida State. Why did they give him up? May remain to be seen, but the Buffalo Bills, I think, are getting a good one. They certainly now believe with this move that they're contenders for this season. And probably everyone's good, laughing at him again. Trade that wasn't is the Cincinnati Bengals tried to strike a deal with the Cleveland Browns for the Bengals to send quarterback Ajayi McCarron over to the Cleveland Browns. The best part about this is the Browns said, yes, we'll do that, 3 minutes after the deadline had already passed. And they tried to get their paperwork in and said, hey, we deserve this. Well, this should happen. They protested the league, and the league said, nope, you're so bad, we don't give a shit. So it was really just kind of funny and very Cleveland-esque. So Ajayi McCarron, the trade that wasn't. Plenty of great stuff happening all around the NFL for the NFL trade deadline this year. Very exciting, just absolutely unbelievable. One of the best trade deadlines in the NFL that I've ever been able to remember in my recent history. Now, moving over into what I believe is a very interesting story. So yesterday was Halloween, as you know. I'm sure you all got dressed up. I'm sure you all went out, or you gave out candy, or you bought candy. You got your Snickers, your Kit Kats, your Reese's. But did you get your black licorice? If you didn't, good, because just recently the FDA came out and said black licorice, not good for you, potentially not good for you at all, not at all. And then recently, Hershey's, the maker of Twizzlers, so you've got your red licorice, your strawberry licorice, stuff like that, and then you got your black licorice, recently responded to the FDA's warning that eating too much black licorice could end you up in the hospital. So a spokesperson for Hershey's recently said, quote, as with any treat or candy, we recommend you enjoy licorice in moderation and as part of an overall balanced diet. First of all, anyone who has licorice as part of an overall balanced diet, you need to get a new overall balanced diet. Because if you have licorice as part of your diet, you are doing something very wrong. And if you have black licorice as part of your diet, you can't be trusted. I gotta put that out there right now. You can't be trusted. Black licorice tastes like crap. It makes you have black teeth, looks like crap. What girl is gonna go out with you with black teeth after eating black licorice? They're not going to. Simple as that. But the quote continues. If you're 40 or older, eating 2 ounces of black licorice a day for at least 2 weeks could land you in the hospital. I'll take it a step farther. It could land me in the bathroom every day. What's more uncomfortable? Being in the bathroom every day, on the toilet every day, does not seem like a whole lot of fun to me. And that is every single day, 2 ounces of black licorice. That is disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. I hope you're not one of those people that's giving out black licorice on Halloween. If you are, you should be found, arrested, and forced to eat black licorice for the rest of your life. Because if you haven't had it, then you obviously don't know. But if you have and you continue to give it out, that's wrong. You're not a true American. You have black licorice. But seriously, don't have it though, because it will end you in the hospital. And I'm laughing. I'm not trying to laugh about it. This is serious stuff. literally, they came out and said that if black licorice, not red licorice, not strawberry licorice, nothing like that, black licorice. So plain and simple, folks, black licorice could be your demise. And that's what I think for this week, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I hope you had a wonderful Halloween. Hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully you stayed away from that black licorice. I'm serious about that. Again, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Another fun week. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back again next week. Same time, Wednesday, 2 Central, 3 Eastern, and 12 Pacific. We'll talk to you then. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great weekend, everybody. So long.